Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You should be putting the final touches on your paper and getting ready to turn that in. And then the next and the last step was to get back together with your group that you started with at the beginning of the semester and to put together a presentation for the school board. You got a letter from the school board president that says, hey, we hear you've been working on these projects to help our school stay open, we hope, and we want to hear what you've done and how that's gonna work. Okay, so here's the idea behind the whole thing, is to come back together, create a presentation that if your group, okay, so let's say this, which is the scenario from the very beginning, the superintendent comes and he says, here's what's happened. Our school was one of the, at the bottom of the barrel. We've got room to improve. And as I was looking at data, I saw that we have an issue with diverse student populations having a kind of a low graduation rate. And what I want to do is figure out a way to improve that graduation rate, to retain those students. Okay? And so he pulls together a group of school leaders and says, I need you to come up with some strategies, some ways and I want you to look at what's going on within our classrooms, our buildings, whatever, that might be affecting these diverse students and why they graduate or don't graduate. And it can be from any level, kindergarten through 12th grade, because it all builds on each other. What you do in kindergarten affects how you're going to be successful in first grade, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Okay. So then what we've done during this semester is you've each kind of broke apart, and you've said, okay, here's what I want to research. And so you've done your research project. And it may not have specifically dealt with diverse student populations. However, remember I said that diversity comes in all shapes and sizes. All right? But now I want you to take what you've done, I want you to put it together with your other group members, and I want you to say, okay, here was the task we were given by the superintendent. Here's what I did. Here was my research project. Here's what I discovered. And here's why. And so do that with each of them. So one person has their little information about their project. Another person has the information about their project. Another person has information about their project, until everybody in the presentation has information about their project. And then at the end of it, you tie those all together and you say, okay, because we've done these 4 or 5 things, how many people are in your group? We're going to predict that those kids that participated in this intervention here at the first grade will be, based on the results, okay, positively impacted by this strategy that was used. Then when they get to middle school, if you had a middle school person, will experience this, and it's been shown to, yada, 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 okay, et cetera, all the way through. So tie those together to how they're going to change or help retain this diverse students when they hit graduation. Now, you might have discovered that what you didn't do anything statistically significant. I mean, there were some changes, hopefully positive changes, maybe not, I don't know. But you can address that too after you've talked about, okay, here's what I did, here's what I did, here was my project, etc., here's what we found out. And then at the end you say, okay, we did these things, and these things showed to be positive, so we think if we would continue these interventions and use our, this plan of action that we've set forward with each of these projects, and continue to look at them and to build on these positive strategies, that we can impact the graduation rates in the future. But then we've got a couple of projects, or one of our projects showed that, well, it wasn't, you know, statistically significant. While there was some improvement, it wasn't enough to, you know, to be statistically significant. So we want to go back. We might want to go back and, you know, how can we refine that? How can we do that a little differently so that it might positively impact these students? So how can we, you know, just keep moving forward, doing these these action research projects, and as we do these small action research projects along the way, how is that going to improve those graduation rates for our diverse students? Okay, just that. I hope that makes more sense. So you're putting together a presentation for the school board that's going to talk about all that. It takes all your individual projects, says what they were, and then it ties a little bow around them and says, and here's why these projects together are going to help our school district stay open, and why they're going to help get our graduation rates for our diverse student populations up where we think they should be. Okay, I hope this explanation makes it clearer, to have, you know, a little more direction. But okay, so you're presenting to the school board each of your individual projects, and then you're, as a group, you're also going to say, okay, each of these individual projects together will help meet the goal we were given by the superintendent. And then why, you know, explain it a little bit. All right, so if that's as clear as mud, awesome. But if you still need more clarification, just let me know, and I'll help you out.